out, take a little drink of water, have a break, rejoin us when you're ready. Do as much or as little of the flow as you would like. If you want to spend the next 45 minutes lying on your back on the mat, then trust me, if you're going to do it any day, today is the day to do it. If you're not feeling super up for it. Okay, so I'm just going to say it's going to be a little bit different than the kind of structure of the usual classes that I do. Probably a little tiny bit more intense. But I wanted to respond to you guys' requests for arm balance drills, handstand drills, because it was something that you guys, quite a few of you, were asking for. Hopefully you enjoy it, even if your handstands are not high on your agenda. We're still going to have the, Shavasana at the end. We're still going to have our breathing. We're still going to have those elements of yoga. So don't worry, it's still going to be a yoga class. So bring yourself down onto your mat. Give yourself a little wiggle around just to get that energy out. Sit up nice and tall, palms on your knees. Take a nice deep inhale, raise up through the spine, drop those shoulders down, close your eyes. And exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine, reverse the breath. And inhale. And exhale. Tune into your breath. Feel each inhale wash through you. And on the exhale, reverse the breath, pushing out anything that isn't serving you in this moment. Start to tune out all your outside distractions, thoughts and worries. Tune into your breath, tune into your body. Exhale, release. And as you breathe, feel those sit bones grounding down into the mat, the shoulders drawing down away from the ears, and the shoulder blades gliding down your spine towards the earth. And in the same movement, lifting up through the spine and opening your chest. So we're grounded, but we're lifted. And start to check in with those key tension points. Remembering that as humans, we tend to hold on to stress in really subtle ways. Some of the most obvious ones that we tend to do without even really realizing it is drawing our shoulders up towards our ears. So just making sure those shoulders really do pull down away from the ears, allowing your neck to grow long so you sit taller. Facial features, make sure that they're soft and gentle. You're not frowning unnecessarily or furrowing your brow, and not grinning or doing anything that's putting too much pressure on the muscles. Just a neutral, gentle, soft face. And start to unlock your jaw. Make sure those back teeth aren't touching, tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Maybe your mouth is open a little bit, tongue away from the roof. So if you want to stick it out a tiny little bit like a puppy, then you can. And don't worry if you think it looks silly, no one can see you. And really breathe into those areas and feel yourself almost becoming lighter when you let go of that tension. Let's take our imaginary broom and sweep the mind clear of any clutter, any wandering thoughts or worries, anything that isn't serving at this moment. Forget everything you did before or need to do after. This is your time for you, your body, your mind, your breath. Bringing that focus right to the center, right to your core. And breathe, inhale. Pause for a second at the top of your breath, always letting your body breathe fully, breathe deeper, and exhale, reverse the breath, using the full capacity of your lungs. Start with a little mobility, drawing your chin towards your shoulder and gently rolling from shoulder to shoulder, mobilizing your neck. Gentle mobilization of the neck. You can take it the whole way around into a circle if you'd like. Rotating. Just loosening up those joints, and then bring yourself back to center. Roll those shoulders up to your ears, down your spine. So we're really going to open up our shoulders before we start, because with all these balances, head, arms, and handstands, you do need those shoulders to be nice and healthy, strong, relaxed. No knots, no tightness, no injuries. And maybe take your hands onto your shoulders and really circle those elbows so you're getting even deeper. So you look like you've got little chicken wings. Circle them the whole way back. Really nice. Take those arms out in line with your shoulders and just turn those wrists, wiggle those fingers. Lovely. Reaching the arms behind you, pull the shoulder blades together at the back, opening your heart center. And really pull those shoulder blades together as you pull back with your arms, keeping those shoulders down the neck long. And release the hands. And then bring them forward. Imagine you're hugging a giant beach ball. Interlace those fingers at the front. Drop the chin to the chest and curve the spine like a C shape. Putting those shoulders apart, so the opposite way that we just pulled them. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Really feel those shoulders melting apart. One more breath. Gently opening up, drop that right hand behind you like a secondary spine. Left hand comes to the outside of your right knee, sitting up nice and tall with the shoulders down, neck long. Start to gaze over your right shoulder. Push that knee away and twist. Inhale. And exhale, really push. So with twists, really good for energizing the spine, compressing the organs as you twist, which releases any toxins in the blood. And then when we release that twist, gently bring yourself back to center, allow fresh blood to run through your organs. Bring that left hand behind, secondary spine, not a leaning post, just something to give you a little support. Right hand to the outside of the left knee, gazing over that shoulder and twist. And I do really like a twist. And please remember as well, if you are pregnant, just avoiding all twists through the waist and spine because it restricts airflow to the fetus. Everyone else, you're all good to twist. Those feel like twists really unlock something that no other moves do. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, push that knee away. Really nice. Bring yourself back to center. Let's just take a little lateral stretch on each side. So left hand in line with the left hip, right arm up and over, and start to reach across to the left with those right fingers. Make sure those bum cheeks stay glued on the mat. The right arm is in line with the right ear. And if you want to, you can come down onto your left forearm, but make sure bum cheeks are glued, nice and even, pushing into that right hip. Feel that stretch from hip to fingertip, really reaching like you're trying to touch the other side of the room. Keep those shoulders down the neck long. Lovely. Breathe into that stretch. Start to walk the hands around. The right hand in line with the right hip. The left arm up. Left arm in line with left ear. Keep that neck long, shoulders down. Bum cheeks glued. Push into that left hip. If you want to drop down onto your forearm, by all means. Reaching like those left fingers want to touch the right side of the room. And keep that chest open. Try not to collapse forward. You want to imagine the top half of your body is popped in a toaster. Deep breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Really nice. Lovely. Bring yourself back to center. Place those palms in front and bring yourself into an all fours position. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Spine flat. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Make sure those toes are tucked under, and I want you to really push into the mat. Feel that energy coming out of your hands, your knees, your feet. Inhale. And exhale. And if you want to get a little bit of a core exercise here, a little bit of core work, tuck those toes under and lift the knees about 10 centimeters off the mat. Keep the spine flat. Nice and engaged in the core area, pushing back into the heels, feeling it in the glutes and the core. And let's hold 5, 4, 3, 2, And one, drop those knees if they're lifted, untuck the feet. Drop your navel to the floor, gaze up to the sky. Really nice. And exhale, arch like a scared cat. Inhale. So we're just mobilizing our spine here, and exhale. Spread those shoulders, crown of the head towards the floor, and inhale. And just continue here and exhale. So no freestyling tonight. We're just going to continue with our cat-cow with our hands facing straight ahead, and inhale. And exhale, really arching, push those shoulders, crown of the head down, and get as deep into the spine and the shoulders as you can. Inhale. Lovely, and exhale, well done. Give me one more here, inhale. And exhale. So those of you that are really keen to practice handstands, this one is for you. We're going to turn those hands around so the wrists are facing forward. And if this is too much for you, feel free to continue with a normal cat-cow. But if you are working on handstands, this is a really good stretch for the wrists. And you're going to take a deep inhale here. Continue with the cat-cow, but with those wrists facing straight ahead. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Really feel the stretch through those wrists, and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. Lovely, and exhale. Turn the palms around, and another little stretch out for the wrist. What we're going to do is we're going to rock back on our bums and then bring ourselves forward. And feel that strength in your arms. So with control, you bring yourself all the way forward. So as you come forward, bringing your chest past your hands, you're going to feel that engagement in your core, feel it in your arms. And we're going to go for 10 of those. So 1, and forward. 2, touch the bums, the heels, and forward. 3, and forward. 4, try and keep that core engaged, and back. 5, really nice. 6, well done. 7, 8, 9, well done. Last one, and 10. Heels together, knees apart, take a child's pose, reaching those arms out in front, deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Place the palms flat, gaze straight ahead, and you're going to push yourself from child's pose into plank. If you want to keep the tops of your feet down, then by all means do. And then you're going to drop the knees back, bring yourself back into child's pose. So probably wanting to keep the knees and feet parallel here. Inhale. Exhale, push forward into a plank. If you want to keep the tops of the feet on the mat, by all means do. Make sure those wrists stay under shoulders. And back. Child's pose, inhale. Exhale, forward into your high plank. Exhale, try and make sure it is a high plank, not an up dog. Inhale, forward, high plank. Really nice, core engaged, body in a nice straight line, well done. Back into your child's pose, lovely. Let's go for 5 more. 5, high plank, and child's pose. Inhale here, exhale, 6, and back. I don't know why I'm going backwards, let's say 4. And forward, high plank, 3, keep that core engaged. And back, 2, really nice, and back. And 1, really nice, well done. Hold that plank. If your feet are tucked under, bring them into what you would usually do for a plank with your toes tucked under. Take a nice deep breath here. Tuck those elbows in and come down through your chaturanga. Push forward into an upward facing dog. And push back, downward facing. So downward facing dog. First one of the day, feel free to walk those feet out here. And remembering all the things that we do in down dog. So pushing into our palms, the outside of our hands, our little fingers. Slightly softening the elbows if you want to. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. and rotate those shoulders outwards externally, making sure we don't get a rotator cuff injury. Straight line from the base of our spine all the way down. Head looking between your legs, drawing those heels down towards the mat. You can feel free to bend the knees. Make sure that navel is drawn in towards the spine. Let's take a nice little stretch through the backs of our hamstrings and calves here. Inhale, come up on your toes. Exhale, lower the heels and try and keep that body in the same position. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, well done. And give me 5. And lower. 4. And lower. 3. And lower. 2. And lower. And 1. And lower, really nice. And what you're going to do now is just gazing straight ahead, you're going to drop down onto your forearms into a dolphin pose. And then we're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we push up into a downward facing dog. And we're going to do that lovely, lovely thing 10 times. So inhale, we push back, dolphin. Exhale, downward facing dog, well done. Inhale to dolphin. Exhale, downward facing, 3, dolphin, downward facing, well done, dolphin, downward facing dog, dolphin, downward facing, really nice, 7, downward facing dog, onto your forearms for dolphin, 8, downward dog, lovely, 9, and push. And last one, dolphin, and downward facing dog, really nice, well done. Take a nice deep breath here in your downward dog, and then you're going to drop back down into your dolphin. And so you can keep your hands parallel, or you can interlace the fingers in front of you, so you're making a kind of triangle shape with your arms and your hands, which would be, of course, a setup for one particular headstand. So your dolphin, now we're going to do dolphin kisses, which we've done in my classes before. So what we do is we're going to bring ourselves all the way past the hands, like we're going to kiss the mat, and back 10 times. We're going to go 1. So this gets into our shoulders and core. And back, 2, and back, 3, and back, 4, and back, 5, and back, 6, and back, 7, and back, 8, well done, and back, 9, and back, and 10, and back. Hold your dolphin, and feel free to, if you've interlaced the fingers, bring your hands back down. We're going to do dolphin heel raises, so like we did for our down dog. So what you're aiming to do here is you'll raise the heel, so you're bringing yourself forward, which would be the start of an arm balance. So when you're ready, we're going to do 10, so we're going to go up, 10, and back. 9, well done, and back. Try and bring yourself to completely straight back. 8, and back. 7, really nice. 6, and back. 5, back. 4, and back. 3, well done, and back. 2, and back. And 1. Heels together, knees apart, drop those knees down. Take a little child's pose and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Really nice. Just breathing with those arms out straight ahead. Place those palms flat, gaze straight ahead, back into your all fours position. Tuck those toes under. And push back into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet about as wide as the mat and start to walk those hands back towards the back of the mat. So you're going to bring yourself into your malasana, your yoga squat, opening up the hips. Just pull up my leggings. So feet nice and flat if you can, don't worry if you can't. Use your elbows to push those knees apart, palms together, and you're going to try and sit up nice and tall. Really nice. So we're going to take a little bunny hop. So what this does is it's just kind of the start of arm balancing. So I just want you to chill here. Well, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And if you've got more space than me, then you can probably do this a little bit better. But what we're going to do is we're going to come into what we might do for crow pose. So you're going to bring your palms in front and you're just going to kick your bum to your heels and come down with a little bit of control. So you can either stay in one spot to do it, or what I like to do is go up and down the mat. And if you're like me and you've got a sleeping child underneath in the room underneath you, then you really have to be light on your toes, which will put all the control into your arms, into your core. So you're just going to try and kick your bums with your heels. And I want you to go back and forth on your mat 3 times, like a little bunny. I'm just going to watch you guys doing it. Well done. And when you do it, try and have control. So you're not just jumping. If you're doing it in one spot, try 15. So you're not just jumping, you're with control, trying to bring that head down towards the mat. Really nice. And as you do, try and straighten the arms. Lovely, well done. And with control as well, so try not to just jump, you're lifting. And you have control as you come down. So it's more of a light landing, you're not thudding down onto the mat. Well done. Really nice, and try and engage your core as you come up, try and keep that spine nice and flat. Well done, really nice. Try and straighten those arms as you're coming up. And when you've done, oh, well done, someone's going really high. And I bet it's Jennifer. Yes, it is. Well done, really nice. And when you guys have done your hops back and forth or your 15, I want you to come back to the back of your mat, back into your malasana, and we're going to take our crow pose, which in my opinion is like a starter arm balance. So you're very close to the ground in it, so if you do fall out of it, it's not the end of the world. So you're going to bring your palms in front, you're going to lift those knees up, and what I want you to try and do is pop your knees into your armpits. So what you want to avoid is knees on the outside of your arms. We don't like that. You're going to pop those arms into the armpits, spread those fingers wide and try and lean forward, and as you do, you're going to lift those toes off the mat. And maybe you only hold for a second today, maybe you hold for longer. Try and engage those cores. And also, if crow pose is not yet in your practice, try and tap the toes. So you're lifting one toe at a time. And you'll notice that when you do that, at one point you lift both toes and you'll be able to hold the balance. And ladies, also bearing in mind, if it is in or around your time of the month, balancing is never great around that time. So if you feel like, actually, I used to be really good at this, today I'm not, that could be the reason. It's the wonderful world of being a woman. Really nice, well done, looking good. And remember, try not to put the knees onto the outside of the arms, try and put them in the armpits. Really lovely, give me one more go of those. Really nice. And then you're going to bring yourself back into your malasana, into your yoga squat, with that bum down towards the mat, palms together, feet flat, take a nice deep breath. You're going to place those palms in front, and we're just going to start to straighten the legs, bring ourselves into our Uttanasana, forward fold, the heel toe those feet together. And remember, as always, much better bent knees and straight back than curved spine and straight legs. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale, and as we exhale, fold deeper into your Uttanasana. Inhale, start to stroke the palms up the feet towards the shins. Bring yourself into a flat back tabletop position. Exhale, back to your forward fold. We're just going to start to stretch out those hamstrings. Inhale, flatten the back, gaze straight ahead, palms up towards your shins or your thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bring the torso to the thighs. Inhale, palms up, the feet towards the shins and the thighs. Exhale, forward fold, really nice, and feel that stretch. Inhale, stroke the palms up the shins towards the thighs, back, flatten the back, navel to spine. Exhale, forward fold, really nice, start to feel those hamstrings loosening. Inhale, flat back tabletop, gaze straight ahead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, palms up the feet towards the shins. Exhale. And one last time, palms up the shins towards the thighs, flatten the back. Draw that navel in. Exhale back to your forward fold. And just give yourself a little bit of a hold here in forward fold, trying to draw that torso down towards the thighs. So we're going to put a little bit of pressure now on our hands. So the little bit of weight is going to come into our hands and our wrists. So you're just going to drop those palms in front of you on the mat. So if you need to bend your knees here, by all means do. I'm going to bend my knees. My hamstrings are super tight this week, so that's completely fine. And you're going to start to drop yourself forward. And as you do, what we're going to do is heel raises in our forward fold. So keep those shoulders away from the ears, externally rotated, pushing into the outside of your palms and little fingers, and lift up on your toes, and back down, and lift, come forward, and lower. Let's go for 10. Well done, and lower, and 9, and lower, and 8, and lower. Feel yourself putting that weight into the hands and the wrists. 7, and lower. 6, and lower. 5, and lower. 4, and this is really good to do against the wall as well if you are practicing, so that your back is against the wall, and eventually you can lift up. 3, and lower. 2, and lower, and 1. Well done. And lower, just bring yourself back into your Uttanasana. Take a nice little ragdoll here. Allow your head and arms to become heavy. Maybe give those knees a little bend, swaying from side to side. And it is 8 o'clock, so if you do want to go outside and cheer for the NHS, then please do. My street goes a bit mental for it every night, so if yours does, feel free to go out now. Everyone else, we're going to walk all the way forward, take ourselves back into our high plank position, and we're just going to do a little bit more here with our arms and shoulder strength. So from your high plank, take a deep breath, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Well done. And we're going to go 10, down dog. 9, down dog. 8, down dog. 7, down dog. 6, down dog. 5, down dog. Well done. 4, down dog. 3, well done, down dog. 2, down dog. And 1. And down dog, heels together, knees apart, and just take a little child's pose, bringing your forehead down onto the mat, reaching those arms out in front of you. And breathe. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Push down through your palms. Bring yourself back into an all-fours position and back into your high plank. So we're going to come all the way over onto the left-hand side into your side plank. And if this is not in your practice, feel free to drop that bottom knee, but make sure the hips are open. Make sure those shoulders are stacked on top of each other, those arms in a nice straight line. And bringing those hips nice and high. And what we're going to do is our bow and arrow, which is working on our core strength, something you really need for these arm, head, and hand balances. So you're going to reach that right arm down like you're pulling a bow. We're going to pull it all the way up, and at the top we let go. And let's go for 5 on each side. So we reach, lift, let go, and 5. Reach, lift, let go, and 4. Pull that bow and let go. 3. Really feel it in your core. 2, and let go. And 1, and let go. And obviously this is really good for your arm strength. Now what I want you to do is just bring yourself into your plank and lift the left arm. And as you do, send that right leg out underneath. Point the toe, bring yourself into your fallen triangle. Take a deep breath here and hold. Working on arm strength in any kind of side plank. Deep breath. Bring that left hand back down. Bring yourself back into a plank position. And now we're going to do the same thing on the right hand side. So I'm just going to switch sides so you guys can see. From your plank, we're going to put all of our weight onto the right hand side. Hips stacked. So we're working here on core strength and arm strength. So again, if you want to drop that bottom knee, by all means do make sure those hips are stacked on top of each other, core engaged. Arms in a nice straight line, shoulders stacked. Take a deep breath here, and bow and arrow, so reaching down, and pull. And let's go 5, and pull, and 4, squeeze that bow, and pull, and 3, and pull, and 2, and pull, and 1, really nice, and pull. Drop that left hand down, bring yourself back into a plank position, reach the right arm, take that left leg underneath, bringing it out and pointing that toe, fallen triangle. So I'm just going to show you what that's going to look like from the front, because I realized that I did both of those from the side. So you lift the right hand, you're going to take that left leg out underneath, fallen triangle pose. Take a nice deep breath here. 3, 2, and 1. Drop that palm, bring yourself back into your plank position. Deep breath, push up into your downward facing dog. So we're going to do pike press ups, downward dog press ups. Probably one of the best drills for handstands. It's pretty horrible, I'm not going to lie to you. So what we're going to do is you're going to bend the elbows outwards as you come down, keeping that down dog position, and lift. And let's go for 10 of those. 10, and lift. 9, and lift, well done. 8, and lift. 7, and lift. 6, well done, and lift. 5, and lift. 4, keep that navel drawn in. 3, well done. 2, push-ups are not my strong point. And 1, and lift, heels together, knees apart. Just take a little child's pose. Bring yourself down onto the mat and breathe. So as you're resting, I'm just going to tell you, we're going to open up a little space now to finish off. But if you do have any balances in your practice that you would like to try, then by all means, if headstands in your practice, feel free to take that now. I'm going to give you guys a couple of options for handstand practice that you can do against a wall. I only have this really rubbish IKEA wardrobe to do this against, and the doors are really rickety, so you have to excuse this. But I'm just going to show you a couple of things that will really help with handstand practice if you do have a wall nearby. If not, I'm going to show you guys the basics to get into a tripod headstand, which in my opinion is the easiest headstand. So if you are practicing handstands at home, one thing you can do is just working on your arm and shoulder strength. Bring your palms down, and you're just going to walk your feet up the wall or up the rickety old wardrobe, which I really wouldn't recommend. And just walk, bring your legs nice and straight into a pike position. Make sure the shoulders are underneath your hips. Try and straighten the back if you can. And you're just going to practice lifting one leg at a time. Really, really good way to work on arm strength. And if you do have a wall knee, that's a really good one to do. And try and make sure, so if you've got a camera, you can actually see what you're doing. You want to make sure that you're kind of not slanted, you're not vertical, I don't even know what I'm talking about. You're not diagonal, that's what I mean. You want to make sure your body is literally like this. So your hips under your shoulders and wrists under your shoulders. Your hips above your shoulders and your wrists underneath your shoulders. So you're in a nice straight line, core engaged. Those of you that do want to practice tripod headstand, what we're going to do is you're going to bring your palms down onto the mat. So if you do, any of you guys do have arm balances for headstand or anything in your practice that you do want to practice now, by all means do. Those of you that have been asking for headstand, so tripod, palms down, and you're going to drop your head. And you can take this from a forward fold as well, but for me, this is the easiest way to get up into it. Lift those legs as though you were doing a down dog. Make sure you're not putting too much pressure on the head.
You want to make sure that the pressure is in your arms. And then walk those knees. So using your elbows as kind of a tabletop. And then you're just going to lift one leg at a time and try and straighten them out. Even if you only lift one leg today, bring yourself up into that balance. And try and practice as well controlled falling. So no crashing, being careful of your neck. And as I said, I really, really don't like teaching these things online because I can't help you guys. So just please, 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 please be careful. The other thing you can do is pop a cushion underneath your head and tripod headstand, which I did for the longest time. Obviously, it makes it a little bit less hard on your head, but it's good to practice without because it stops you putting so much pressure on there. So if you are doing the other, and I'm going to give you one more actually really good one to practice for handstands against my rickety old wardrobe, which is just bringing your palms down on the mat and bring yourself back into that kind of pike position and just start to walk those arms back. And as you do, bend the knees and just push yourself up against the wall with the knees bent. And just drawing those heels in towards your bum. Try and keep yourself in a nice straight line here. Eventually just push those feet away. So you're just practicing the kind of balance that you need, but without obviously having to worry about falling out. A good thing to do as well is to practice the pike one, lifting your legs, and practice controlled falling out of it, kind of like a cartwheel, which I'm not going to do because I definitely will wake my son. A lot of people will say don't practice handstands against a wall because you get too comfortable with the wall. I'm a big believer in using the wall. Use the wall, and then when you get comfortable, try and kick your feet away from it for a second. I think the wall makes you feel safe enough to actually be able to do the arm balances. Use the wall, use props, whatever you've got. If you've got a yoga hammock, if you do aerial yoga, it's a really good place to start learning arm balances. I'm a big believer in using props to get into the more difficult poses, and then just dropping the props when you feel more comfortable. So on that note, guys, bring yourself into a seated position, feet together like palms. And you're just going to start to drop those knees open on either side. Take your bound angle pose, sitting up nice and tall. Drop those shoulders down away from the ears, neck nice and long. Inhale. Exhale, dropping the knees. So bound angle, opening up those hips and increasing blood flow to your pelvic floor. If you want to take a little forward fold here, just push the feet out, nice diamond shape with the legs, and start to hinge at the hips, nice flat back, dropping forward. Trying to make yourself a nice little package. Imagine you're being sent in the post. Inhale. And exhale. Really nice breathing for those hips melting open. Deep breath, inhale. Haven't given our hamstrings and our hips much love today, so let's give it a little bit. Well done. Take a nice deep breath. Lovely. One more breath here and gently walk those hands back into an upright position. Straighten those legs, point your toes, palms underneath the small of your back. Drop back, take a little fish pose. So point those toes, legs together like a fish tail, push that chest up. Let the head roll all the way back, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Feel those shoulders stretching. Exhale. Melt yourself down onto the mat and draw the knees in towards the chest, Uttanasana. Rocking from side to side. Let's give ourselves a little supine twist to finish, arms out on either side, legs into tabletop. Drop the knees to the left, gaze to the right. Feel that twist from the base of the spine all the way up to your neck. Reaching down those right fingertips, inhale. And exhale. And switching side, the knees come over to the right, gaze to the left.
And back to center. Draw your knees into your chest, one more little hug. You deserve it. If you are sweating, don't worry, so am I. Straighten those legs out. Feet falling open, arms down by your side, and then reach the arms up above the head. Point those fingers, point those toes. You guys know the drill. Full body stretch, reaching from one side of the room to the other. Tension in every part of your body. Imagine someone's got you by the fingers, someone's got you by the toes, and they're pulling you, they're adding inches onto your body. Everything I've told you not to do, do it now. So pull those shoulders up, scrunch that face up. A million double chins, ugliest face you've ever made in your life. So much tension, your limbs are shaking. Throw all that mental tension in as well. Any anxiety, any stress, any worries. Pour it all into the old tension bomb. We're going to throw it back into the universe. It's not a permanent fix. Just a nice feeling to let go of all that tension, even if it only lasts till the end of Shavasana. So just pulling, 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 reaching, 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 pouring all that physical tension, all that mental tension, reaching, reaching. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those arms down by your side, palms facing up to the sky, feet falling open. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale. And if you want to grab a cushion, a blanket, a jumper, some socks, a glass of water, dim your light, pop on some music, or whatever you need to do for your Shavasana, by all means do that now. And if anyone doesn't want to stay for Shavasana, absolutely fine. I will not be offended. I know it's not for everyone. Feel free to log off now if you would like. Everybody else, if you are pregnant, left hand side in a fetal position with a cushion between your knees. Everyone else, let's drop down onto our mats, palms open, feet open, melting into your mats. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale. Take yourself back to where you were at the beginning of the class. No thoughts, no worries. Taking that imaginary broom to sweep the mind clear of clutter. And every breath, try and teach your body to breathe that little deeper. Maybe you pause for a second at the top. Exhale, release. Feeling that breath wash through you as though it's cleansing you. And let's start to check in with those tension points. Draw the shoulders down, away from the ears, melting into the mat like lava. Neck long. Facial features neutral, gentle. No frowning, no tension. Clear mind and gentle features. Softening the jaw, unlocking those back teeth, and drawing the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take our attention down towards our feet. Feel each toe unravel, feet falling open. Ankles, calves, knees, and thighs. Light weight on the mat. All the way up to the base of the spine and feel each vertebrae melt down into the mat one by one. All the way up to your shoulders. Feel those shoulders draw down away from your ears, leaving the neck long. Melt those shoulders deeper into the mat so it's almost like you're becoming one with the earth. Arms falling open at your side, fingers unraveling and palms facing towards the sky, receiving energy. Neck long and head light. facial features soft and gentle. And take this moment to bring your attention down towards your chest and abdomen. That slow and steady rise and fall of your breath, releasing any tightness or tension and allowing you to melt down into the mat, into that deep sense of calm. And take these moments now for you. As you inhale and exhale. You start to wiggle those fingers and toes to draw awareness back into your body. Hugging your knees into your chest and gently rocking from side to side to release the spine. And bringing yourself up to seated on the mat. Palms on your knees. And take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, let's let out a deep sigh. And again, inhale. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. Draw your palms together at your heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me tonight. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your evening. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Namaste.